Hi everybody, and welcome to TFT Tarot for today. Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my Friday show, The Outlook on the Emotional Exchanges. And I'm a little spastic because I'm going to do something I've never done before, which is I'm going to kind of layer the card readings like I do in some of my other programming. So I'm going to do basically 3 cards from 3 different decks for the elemental signs of the zodiac. The first card is coming from the often used Modern Love Tarot. Could show it over there too. And it is, of course, to set the tone. This is representing what the overall emotional theme or situations of this week ahead. And that's the week from today, Friday, July 26th to next Thursday, the 30th, something like that. I'll probably run it down at the bottom there for y'all. All right, so as I mentioned, this is for the elemental signs of the zodiac. So first up are the air signs. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Oops. I'm not such a lefty after all. Okay. So the overall energy is the upright Knight of Pentacles. What does that tell me? That says that the overall energy probably suits taking your time, patience, sort of enjoying nature in a sense, or sort of not feeling like you're very driven for results. So that's a good thing, I suppose, that you feel, you can and I think it's interesting that there's a horse there, but also that the figure in the card is on a bike too. I'm not sure, since it's about the Knight of Pentacles is sort of about the sense of movement, but usually about taking its time. But in the Modern Love Tarot, this could also be about some sense of the potential for a relationship along those lines. And I mostly just see nature and love of nature there. So I'm doing this thing where I am using the other cards, other decks, I'm sorry, a little bit. I'm probably spazzing out because of my background. So I'm going to do for the air signs also at this time from the Final Rose Tarot, and what I'm doing there, whoops, that camera's there, I'm just too confused with the cameras right now, is who's coming towards you. So for those of you who may be interested in somebody who's thinking about you in an emotional sense, this could be for you. So I'm going to do it for each of the elemental signs of the zodiac, and so it's going to be part of the overall reading. And of course there is a third card coming from yet another deck. But my twist for this reading, who's coming towards you, and also using the Final Rose Tarot, is they have this wonderful extra card that they give you. And it's like an extra card, so it's a free card. I'm trying to think, a wild card. And it's called the Producer Plant. And it has no designation either with the suits or, with anything else to do with the tarot, with the major arcana. But the reason I'm going to put it in here is as a wild card is to suggest that if this shows up in the draw for any of the signs, then the idea may be as a wild card, because I'm designating it now that this is the person coming towards you, or the person you like, is the absolute ideal for you, whatever that is in your heart and mind. It isn't necessarily the person who feels they're attracted to you, if you understand that. It's the person who really would be your ideal. So if you want to call that a twin flame or a soulmate or the one you were meant to be with. So air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Who's coming towards you? And of course, we draw until we come to a court card. The court card more or less tells us what that personality will be, or what they're like. Well, we're just going to go ways here. Of course, as soon as I say that. So, it's the Queen of Roses, and the Queen of Roses is the Queen of Wands. It says the Beauty Queen. Well, the personality or type of person is somebody who maybe is very dynamic and charming and very competitive. You know, it says Miss USA, second place. Okay, they're number 2, but they try harder. That's the old saying, right? Number 2 tries harder. So the person that's coming towards you probably has an incredible amount of desire for you, to be put mildly. We'll just say that, and that they're very charming, and you may be hard-pressed to resist them. So that was who's coming towards you. Now I'm going to flip the switch, the gear a little bit, the script a little bit, and introduce a new element to my emotional exchanges. And this time I'm going to use the Tarot of Oppositions. And the Tarot of Oppositions is a unique deck that is sort of double-sided, so that it has both the upright and reverse meanings in the card. What I'm going to do with this for each of the elemental signs of the zodiac is, as I spin the card over, I'm going to try to understand what is the actual concept of what opposes your emotional happiness. It's about opposition. So depending on which part of the card is accentuated, you know, the reverse side or the upright side may play into how I feel this reading works. So once again, for the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And I've drawn the sun. And the sun's reverse side is the upright side. Noting that, of course, there's really no bad side to the sun being reversed. But what could be in opposition to your emotional happiness could be that you don't always appreciate when it really is okay for you. You know, that the sun reversed is not necessarily so horrible, so bad. It doesn't represent the opposite of the sun reversed, despite the way the image looks there. What opposes your emotional happiness is yourself not really feeling, not seeing that you really can be happy with less, if that's how you want to look at it, or with less than what you actually think you have to make you happy. So that's it for the air signs. I think I like this reading. I hope you liked it too. All right. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. What is the overall emotional theme or type of situations this week? And it's the reversed Ace of Wands. Reversed Ace of Wands say that maybe in particular some new kind of friendship or relationship seems to be slowly moving, or maybe feels like something has sort of snagged it. If you are already in a relationship, then maybe this may be an aspect to the relationship where you thought you were building something, you know, like maybe you had a new project to build together, or you were saving money for a new, you know, vehicle or a summer home or whatever. But whether you're in a relationship, seeking a relationship, something seems to have stalled in a kind of crucial phase, a building phase, where maybe this is really important to the relationship that this thing happened, but something needs to give it more life. All right. So who is coming towards you, whether or not you may be interested in that, if there is a possibility that somebody is interested in you, and maybe moving in your direction. And of course, for those fire signs who might be single and looking for interest, this could be giving you that clue. Remember, there's a wild card, the actual, this is a perfect, you know, Goldilocks person for you. So who is coming towards you, fire signs? Right off the bat, it's the Knight of Roses, and that's the Knight of Wands. And so there's a similarity to air signs having the Queen of Wands, but the Knight of Wands is sort of a little bit more questing forward. They're really trying to convince themselves of their own earnestness and confidence and bravery and charisma and charming nature, but they are definitely feeling like this kind of personality could be coming towards you with romantic interest or emotional interest of some sort, and know that they could possibly be a fire sign. You know, the wands depict fire signs, but not necessarily. Maybe they just have, you know, some particular emphasis with fire signs in their chart. Their moon is a fire sign. At any rate, I don't think that they're like somebody that's, you know, trying to be mean on you or mac on you or whatever, you know, they say these days. I just sort of think they are sincerely interested in getting to know you better, and that maybe they present as a very charming and brave kind of person. So now, what, if anything, actually does create a problem, I guess, for your emotional happiness. What is in opposition to your emotional happiness? Fire signs. And here we go again. And it's the Queen of Wands again. She's reversed, but of course she also contains her opposite upright self, although that's at the bottom there. So depending on which is ascendant, may feel like that is the more important energy, or maybe there's an energy that merges between the two or flows between the two sides there. Having said that, what opposes your emotional happiness could be, in fact, that sense of a flip-flop, that sometimes you do feel more confident and maybe righteous about the emotional love or appreciation you're moving towards or how you want to charm people. But then sometimes you sort of feel like there's an anti-charisma that maybe you pull from, and that maybe sometimes, you know, you sort of like being a little bit more on the bitchy side, if I could say that. And so maybe that's what opposes your emotional happiness too, is having a temperament that can change easily between that. And that doesn't that sound like certain fire signs too, or sometimes fire signs when they're sort of in their own thing, you know, that they could be very generous, but also they can be very selfish. So sorry, fire signs. But at any rate, that was the reading for you. So we will now move on to water signs. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. What is the emotional theme or energy of this week for you? What kind of situations might be coming up here in some way? Whoa! You have the same card. That's weird. You have the Ace of Wands reversed water signs. And so maybe you two are in the same boat as the fire signs. I'm not going to take this back. I sort of feel this is talking about how, in terms of the emotional situation, something isn't working for you. Some friendship or new... This could pertain to networks too. I mean, it may not necessarily be one specific friendship. It could be in a new group or circle, but somehow feelings are not mutual. You know, that maybe there's a sense here that things aren't moving in the right direction for you emotionally. You're not clicking with this situation, person, group of persons. But at any rate, it is still possible that somebody, somehow, some way, is moving towards you emotionally, is interested you to date or to be in romance with, or maybe just to know more in some way. Who's coming towards you in love or strong emotional feelings? Water signs? Who could that be? Whether or not you are in a relationship, there's always that possibility that somebody is emotionally infatuated with you in some way or for some reason. Who could that be? Reversed Knight of Cups. They call it the flutes here. But the reversed Knight of Cups is maybe a deranged water sign themselves. No, I won't say they're deranged, but maybe there's somebody that they're not sure of themselves, or emotionally they have, you know, some situations going on where they're not feeling comfortable with their own sense of an emotionality. It may be that they feel sort of like a twin pull with you, like maybe they're coming towards you, but they sort of feel like, I'm not sure, you know, or they're playing hard to get, or they don't know why they want to come towards you because they don't really feel like they resonate to you. That one's kind of a mystery to me. If it happens, water signs, you'll have to let me know what you think that is. So then finally, what is in opposition to your emotional life this week, water signs? What kind of factors may be getting in the way of you finding your happiness or feeling happy? And so once again, I'm using that tarot of oppositions, which has both the reversed and upright side on each card, but depending on how you draw it, one may be ascendant over the other. And so your reading kind of flows from how you look at that. Which side of the card's energies are more working for that question? So what opposes your emotional happiness, water signs? Well, it's one of those where I don't know which side is right side up or not. I'm going to say this is, of course, it just seems right to me, but it's the Nine of Swords upright, and it always feels like, you know, maybe there's a sense here that it's your own anxieties about things, that maybe you're worried about things you shouldn't be worried about, and they're stopping your emotional happiness because they're really something somebody else should be dealing with, and you could find a way to let yourself feel more peace about it. It is possible that you've been using this as a way to kind of, you know, hold a place for yourself that you don't really need to, that maybe it's about, you know, how you control your own emotions as well as maybe emotions around you too. It's kind of a weird feel there. I'm going to let it go with that, water signs. I don't know if you totally get that, because you know what? I don't think I totally get it. And I'm a water sign. I'm sorry about that. So I'm going to move on now to the earth signs. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What is the emotional situations or theme of this week for you? What seems to be most likely happening? And it's the full reversed. Well, the full reversed, I don't know. It could be saying that the emotional theme of this week is very unexpected, and sort of feeling like you may be feeling like you placed too much trust, or you would be placing too much trust in letting fate move you around, but unexpected things are going to happen that probably won't necessarily feel good from the emotional point of view. That maybe if in any way you were thinking of doing something that has a sense of insecurity around it, you know, like going to a bar you've never been before and it's in a rough side of town. I don't know, just I'm wondering what the possible scenarios are there. So be careful, earth signs. But it just feels like you can't really trust fate to have your back with emotional things. Like maybe you have to second guess some things. At any rate, who might be coming towards you in love or in some sense of emotionally interested in you to date or to get to be your friend. Who is that? That's the Knight of Cups again. But they're upright. So what's coming towards you could be something you really feel, or signs romantically draws you in. The Knight of Cups is the coming of a matter. What's coming towards you is maybe there's really, it's kind of funny because it flies in the face of the full reverse, but maybe it's a mystery date that just comes towards you and bam, you know, the clicking is so incredible, you know, just you really feel like you fall in love. There's an instant sense maybe of being very drawn to what that is. And the Knight of Cups could be a water sign. They could be a person who maybe presents as a little younger than you, but I don't feel that they're very younger than you or that they're necessarily immature. They just might not be exactly your age, or a little bit more youthful thinking if they are around your age, but they're just a little bit more youthful thinking for some reason. So now let's see what it is that opposes your emotional happiness. And I'm using the Tarot of Oppositions for that once again, where both sides, reversed or upright, are on the card. Okay. It's the upright Chariot. So what opposes you is maybe the continuum between the upright and the reverse side, that maybe you might feel from an emotional point of view, sometimes you want to pour on the speed and sometimes you maybe want to brake heavily, or that maybe you feel what opposes you is that you really vacillate on your motivation towards what you're trying to accomplish in your emotional life, so that maybe if there is a specific somebody you feel you're in love with or you're drawn to, maybe sometimes you don't really feel you move forward enough with that. Like sometimes you sort of say, well, I'll buy them flowers next week or next month. And so there's a sense of maybe this earth sign is that you're maybe taking love for granted. And if you do, then it may be that you won't be exactly in the driver's seat, to use the chariot metaphor, like you might think you should be or always used to be. Just going to say that there. So, thanks for watching. I can't believe I'm through. Thanks for watching the Emotional Exchanges. Don't forget to watch our show tomorrow, the Happy Hour. And later on, I don't know exactly when I'm going to do it, we're going to have the Unhappy Hour. And they both accomplish the same thing, just trying to give you some good advice for how to do things and how to be happy, how to turn the frown upside down, whatever that is. Okay, I guess it's been a late night here for me, playing around recording for the next day. So after that, Banshees Material Matters Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And then later on, our live show from 2 to 4 p.m. And then another week starts over. So thanks for dropping in, and I hope you got something out of this reading. Let me know if you get a chance. Take care and bye.